All right, so let's be honest with each other. In a world obsessed with showing off luxury cars, designer clothes, first class selfies, looking poor, like you don't have much, might be your biggest financial advantage. Because here's the secret. A lot of people that actually have money, the smartest people you'll ever meet, intentionally look kind of broke. So today, I'm going to be showing you why that's not only strategic, it's pretty powerful. If you're new to my channel, I'm Ronald and I cover finance, tech, and productivity to help you escape that rat race and build some true wealth. Most of you watching aren't subscribed. I noticed that in the analytics. So can you do me a quick favor and hit that button? It really actually helps the channel and keeps content coming. All right, so let's break down the 9 reasons why looking poor might be the best and smartest thing you could ever do. Number 1, you stay under the radar. So looking average, broke, keeps you safe in a way. When people think you have money, like a lot of it, then they kind of treat you differently, and not always in a good way. Scammers, lawsuits, and even distant friends suddenly appear if you look like a walking ATM. People that have real money, they know how to be invisible, and they know that that's security. When you dress modestly, stay quiet, you move through the world without drawing unnecessary heat. Number 2, you avoid lifestyle inflation. That's like a nice fancy term for just keep on buying more and more as you make more. When you're looking rich, that often forces you to spend like you're rich. One luxury item leads to another. New clothes, new cars, new expectations. But if you just look average and you don't really care about that, it gives you permission to live below your means, and you actually keep your money, because it's really not about how much you make. Sometimes it's often how much you can keep. Not everyone's expecting you to show up with Gucci, and if they do, then they should be suspect. So don't feel pressure to show off. That's how wealth is really built. Quietly, month by month. Number 3, you build mental toughness. When you're not seeking validation through material things, which is exactly what you're doing when you're showing off, you build confidence from within. So it's a good way to eliminate that type of insecurity. So if you're looking broke, but you know your bank account is growing, that's all that matters. That's the real discipline. It means you're choosing the long-term wealth over short-term applause. So quick check-in. Have you ever felt pressure to look successful, even when it wasn't smart to do it financially? Drop it in the comments. I want to hear your story. Because sometimes things happen in life and you kind of feel like you need to do that. So I want to know what those situations are. Number 4, you get real relationships. When you look like money, people often want something from you, and they want to be with that money, not necessarily with you. But when you look humble, you attract people that aren't chasing status, So I actually never feel sorry for guys that get in wrong relationships with women because they were leading with money and then all of a sudden are surprised when they're being taken advantage of. You led with money. What were you expecting? So that's not only for romantic partners though, but don't lead with money for any type of relationships, whether it's business or friendship or whatever. Real connections are gonna form when you're being humble, not showing off. Number 5, you focus on ownership, not optics. The rich don't care about flexing. They care about ownership. While others show off new shoes, people with wealth, they're buying stocks. They're buying real estate. They're buying businesses. So in short, by not being focused on showing off and you're just looking poor, you can focus on stacking assets. Number 6, you delay gratification. The ability to delay the gratification is one of the strongest predictors of long-term success. And looking poor helps you master that because you're not rewarding yourself with status symbols every time you win. You're investing, you're rebuilding, and replaying the long game. The flashy stuff can come later, if you even care by then. Number 7, you maintain leverage in business. In negotiations, the person who seems like they need less usually wins. Looking like you don't need the deal, the loan, or the investor sometimes allows you to get access to those. And this is leverage. You ever hear how some people say it's easier to find a job when you already have one? Same mentality. So the minute you start showing up flashy, people price you differently. The other thing to mention here is that the minute you show up flashy in certain events, people see you differently. But when you show up humble, then you kind of stay in control. So never let your appearance give away your strategy. Like if you're gonna buy a car and you show up in a dealership and you got all this jewelry and fancy stuff on, they're gonna be less likely to cut you a deal. But if that's not the case and you show up humble, then you have more realistic leverage. So I'm using that dealership as an example, but this could apply in other cases too, where showing off too much could be counterproductive to what you want to do. Number 8, you open unexpected doors. Some of the most powerful people you'll meet, they're dressed like they just left Home Depot, and you'd never know who they are. And that's the point. When you look average, people lower their guard. You hear things, learn things, and access spaces that loud money never could. Understated equals underestimated, and that's the advantage. I go to Planet Fitness, and I could tell you right now, I've come across like several millionaires that work out at Planet Fitness, and that's only because I've gotten to know them. And some are some people that I've actually like learned a lot from in terms of like financial advice. It's crazy. Planet Fitness, $20 a month membership. Number 9, you actually mirror millionaire behavior. Warren Buffett still lives in the same house he bought in the 50s. Mark Zuckerberg wears pretty much the same hoodie every day, although now he's kind of trying to switch up to make him look more regular, trying to join the MMA and trying to be a little bit more cooler. But for the longest time, he was wearing like the same type of shirt, right? So long story short, looking poor isn't a sign of failure. It's often evidence of wisdom. If you found this helpful, check out this video also, and let me know in the comments. Are you comfortable looking poor, looking average, or is it something that you're still kind of working on? Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one.